Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Xtreme 2019 Fall Competition Recap video for my 15-pound combat robot, Razor's Edge. This will be the first of hopefully many competition recap videos that I'll be making about what went down at the competition outside of what you can already see in the matches I've already uploaded. Leading up to the Xtreme 2019 Fall Competition, Razor's Edge was rebuilt with new parts made and donated by Triangle Precision Industries. Last competition, at the 2019 NRL Nationals, I took 5th place and decided not to change much in this newer version. The only changes I did make were a new one-piece drum design, as well as replacing the 2 inner power switches with one XT60 removable link. Overall, this was the most prepared I've been for competition, and after passing inspection, Razor's Edge was ready for its first qualifier against Garbage Truck. Garbage Truck is a relatively basic 4-wheel drive double-sided wedge built by Milford High School. Going into the fight, I was quite nervous about how the power plug would hold up if it hit the wall or floor, as well as just nervous in general for my first fight of the day. There wasn't much strategy going into this, just hit them and see how it goes.
So, would you like to count me down? No, when you do belly won't do belly. You don't want it. Okay, well then I'll just do it. Let's do it in 3, 2, 1, rumble! Let's do it, let's get it in the middle. Alright, let's do it with the front up. Razor's Edge in the garbage truck. Oh! The Razor's Edge is putting the garbage on the garbage truck. Oh! It's upside down. I don't think you can drive. That's the match. And the Razor's Edge is just too sharp for the garbage truck.
So this fight ended up going quite quick. After I hit Garbage Truck a couple of times and they flipped over, they tapped out. Talking to them later, they were still going to drive but feared they would suffer too much damage to continue fighting later in the day. After heading back to the pits and charging the batteries, I was ready for my next match against Cyclone. Now this was a problem. Cyclone was built and designed in part by my younger brother Kale, currently at Centerville High School. During Cyclone's first match, it did well, but the blade seized due to lack of grease in the bearings. We both wanted to make it in the tournament, and after a bit of deliberation, I decided to forfeit my match against Kale. We both won our first fights, and at this point in the competition, we were both wondering how far Cyclone could go. So, after deciding to forfeit my second qualifier, I was on my third match against New Guy. New Guy is an invertible wedge with a toggleable drum built by opponent CTC, who is 1-1 going into this match. I didn't get any pictures of it, but you'll see in the video the drum assembly actually floats on the ground. I was feeling pretty good going into this match, but obviously had a lot on the line, so let's see how Razor's Edge versus New Guy went.
This is where you're going to get fun.
Still going!
So this match went pretty smooth. I was a little worried New Guy would land a hit on the top cover of the robot, but it turned out not to be a problem. New Guy was still going at the end of the match, but the judges called it because New Guy's batteries were hanging out. After this match, I was 2-1 and ended up getting into the round of 16 with my first match against Vern. Honestly, I don't know much about Vern. I was pretty concentrated on other things before this match and never really got a look at them. Vern was built by Upper Arlington High School, and they apparently did pretty well during their qualifiers and were heading into the match relatively damage-free. I wasn't too worried by the looks of their weapon and figured I could outlast them regardless. So, without further ado, here's Razor's Edge versus Vern.
Razor's Edge, give a thumbs up for our judges. Alright, get them up with me, here we go. 3, 2, 1, fight! Both sides fight, fire it up! Slowly dancing, shake the jowl. Fancy driving. And we're loose. We're loose. All right, you keep going. I'm just announcing. Don't worry about it. Here we go. Fire back up. Lining it up. Oh, nice strike. Razor's Edge has simple visiting. Oh, stand up off the hook. Oh, you're gonna have to pay for that. So then.
It's done.
That's
We
it.
need Vern, can you move?
Starting the countdown.
All right, we're starting to count down on Vern. We've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the match is over.
So this match was the first where I actually got flipped over. You can see in the video I actually danced up on one wheel trying to flip myself back over, but wasn't able to due to limiting the drone at 80% for this competition. This was done mainly to conserve batteries as they get extremely hot running at 100% power. So instead, you see me flip my controller over and reverse the drum to come back and flip them over. Good news is they can't drive upside down, so this was the match. Bad news is I was now up against Eddie. Eddie is a brand new design and robot from Centerville High School that had been doing quite well in its previous matches. Eddie has a pretty vicious S7 beater bar and is very compact and solid. The main flaw is that due to weight issues, Eddie had to forgo the outer armor that normally covers their wheels. With this in mind, my strategy going into this match was attack from the sides and take off their wheels. Going into this match, I was still damage free and was getting better at driving with the new drum. So, let's see how Razor's Edge fared against Eddie.
All right, we are going to move forward. Do I have a thumbs up from Eddie? Thumbs up from Razor's Edge? Thumbs up from our referee? Thumbs up from the judges? Everybody take a deep breath. Thumbs up from the audience. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, fight! Oh, slow to start. Good Lord. Here we go. Oh! What? Okay. What? Ah! Now just. Oh my goodness. Eddie doesn't care how they go home. We're about to see its insides on its outsides. Holy cow. Razor's Edge really wants to pop that piñata. Hey, let's give a big round of applause.
This match went quite well, but proved to be my toughest yet. Eddie took some chunks out of the drum, as well as slightly damaging one of my wheels. Had they not tapped out, I probably would continue to take more wheels and axles off. With this win against Eddie, I was now up against Mars. Mars is another robot from Centerville High School, but a bit more proven and refined design than Eddie. I faced similar incarnations of Mars in the past and actually lost both matches. Mars in particular features new tapered wings at the front of the robot designed to scoop underneath others. Plus, Mars was perhaps the best driven robot at the competition. I didn't have much of a strategy going in besides avoid getting hit in the back or the side, so let's see how Razor's Edge fared against Mars.
All right, we're going to close the cage door and make large metal pieces into small metal pieces. Do we have a thumbs up from our referee? Do we have a thumbs up from Mars? Thumbs up from Razor's Edge. Judges, hold on to your hats. Thumbs up. Audience, let's do this thing right. Put them up tall. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, fight! Both sides fire up their weapons, coming in strong, looking for the best approach. Sparks flying early. Oh! Good gracious. We've got some serious sparks. Razor's Edge is hot dogging it now. Hot dogging it now. Holy smokes, we're going to need a new cage. That was bad to the bone. I don't even know what that was. Here we go. Trying to get in close on Mars. Strong driving. That's some serious torque. Holy cannoli. 2:12 remaining. We haven't even gone a minute yet. Two heavyweight fighters changing blows. Here we go. Razor's Edge just backs him into the corner. Taking the small shots. Goodness gracious. Oh. Are they? All right, we're looking for movement. We're starting the countdown. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the round ends on a strong knockout blow from Razor's Edge.
So a bit of a lackluster end. I found out later that ended up being Mars' receiver wires coming unplugged. I'm not complaining though. I suspect I still would have won, but eventually would have let a hit or two in on the sides or back. Mars' beater bar actually didn't do as much damage to the drum as Eddie, so after recharging the batteries, I was on to the final against Cyclone. Contrary to what was predicted, Cyclone ended up being extremely powerful. In the third qualifier, it tore a robot in half, as well as knocking out all 3 of its opponents in the previous tournament matches. Razor's Edge is only the only robot that can stand a chance against a horizontal like Cyclone due to how low to the ground it is and how thick the side frames are, so I wasn't too worried. Cyclone was also forced to switch to a backup blade that was weaker in the center than the one they had been using originally, because it became too mangled to bend back before the finals. So, without further ado, here's the 2019 Xtreme Bots Fall Finals.
Let's count 10 fingers on the referee's hands. All right. Do we have a thumbs up from Cyclone? Do we have a thumbs up from Razor's Edge? Judges, are you ready? Are your cell phones recording? Here we go. Everybody put your hands up. Feel free to put both of them up. Count it down with me. 3, 2, 1, 5! Both sides firing their weapons. The tarpaulin is blowing away. Oh! A glancing, floating mortality. Razor's Edge is just bleeding in his broken head blade. The lawnmower blade is broken in half. Just bleeding in. That is the countdown. Congratulations to Razor's Edge.
So this match went about how I expected it to. Cyclone breaks its own blade off after a well-placed hit to my side that went over halfway through the side frame. After that, it was as simple as waiting to get under them and flip them over. Aside from the one major gash on the side, one of the 5/16ths that hold my front skids on was sheared clean off. I'll have to weld onto that to get it out. Cyclone was a little more beat up, but nothing too bad. So that's how I ended up with this first place trophy. My brother ends up getting second place as well as best engineered, and Centerville took home third place and best documentation. Looking over the robot after the event, the exterior isn't too bad. The drum looks a little beat up, but it's still balanced, and I can even flip over to the other cutting edge if I want. On the inside, the electronics held up very well. The only thing to be damaged were the 3D printed SLA motor covers for the drive motors, which shattered during one of my matches. As for improvements for the Xtreme Bots Spring competition, I'll be remaking the motor covers, probably out of UHMW this time, as well as hopefully making the rear armor out of high carbon steel that's hardened instead of the mild steel I currently am using. I learned a lot this competition with Razor's Edge and saw a couple of cool ideas in the pits I'll be keeping in mind for future projects. As always, there were a lot of questions about my design from fans and other builders at the event, and I always love talking about and showing Razor's Edge to others, and this YouTube channel is hopefully the start of a more organized approach to sharing my experience and ideas with others. This recap video in particular is part of an honors experience through the University of Cincinnati and has really motivated me to document more of my work for others to see. So, thank you for tuning in for this 2019 recap video, and I'll be back in the spring with more competition videos and hopefully another recap video for y'all to see. Thank you.